Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agents plus Color Tile. Barrington Firearms and Training Center, DW2 Drywall, and Michigan Landscape and Excavate.
There's a man named Pat Curry, he's got a passion for the news. Brings the stories of Big Rapids and Mecosta County to you. Tune in and turn it up, let's have some fun.
Well, you had Curry. If you're just tuning in on the web stream and wondered why we got up late, because we had to have Curry's Jukebox. We had a couple of selections we could not play on the web stream, so here we are.
Good songs. They weren't that long.
Well, no, but
there was a boy.
People were checking into 8:30, wondering what. Yeah, there you go. You could just
that auctioneer song's a favorite one to a lot of people up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
National song.
You especially.
Well, my brother's a pretty good auctioneer, and Ryan Hansen, Elsa's grandson, he's a pretty good auctioneer.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of cute stories. Pete Kent with me this morning, and I didn't ask anybody else. If you'd like to come on, just come on out to the station right now. We're here until 10. It's kind of a coffee round town table discussions that we have. Yeah. Bob, we might have to put you in too.
No, I don't. I do not interject.
But before we get started, I just want people to keep in your prayers and thoughts a couple of families here. Rick Snavely just recently lost his brother Jim a few days ago, and Rick's one of those staples of downtown Big Rapids for many years at Golden Visions. I remember Greg Voder used to work for him, and he's kind of slowed down, but he still goes at it every day. He walks with his cane and up and down the streets of Big Rapids, keeping us safe out there. But, you know, to lose a brother, especially a tight one, the Snaveleys are a tight group of people. We just recently lost a cousin Marv that he had, Marv Snavely. Lived to almost make 90 years old. We talked about him last week, I believe. But, yeah, the Snaveleys are having a rough time right now, but they have a great faith, and we're sure Jim's up around the throne. He was a great guy. He lived outdoors to the max, and just had a great life, and it was too short, of course, but sometimes the good Lord calls us home. The other one called home was a nice lady, Nancy Button. She was a good Christian at the Catholic Church, always willing to help there. Never went to a function that she wasn't in the kitchen helping. It would be funerals or weddings or whatever anybody needed. Nancy, her and her husband were both there. You know, they were just a great couple. Try to emulate them would be tough to do, but she's going to be a great Christian that's going to be really missed at the Catholic Church. And God bless you, Nancy. We loved you while you were on earth, and I will be seeing you soon, maybe. But hopefully not too soon. But anyway, her funeral's Thursday, and I'll be there, that's for sure. We lost another great member of Big Rapids in the Christian community, Harry Michael. It kind of gives me a tingle thinking of Harry because he was a competitor, but when you have a competitor like Harry Michael, you're lucky. He was never jealous. He always was willing to help out a competitor if needed. We bought a lot of fuel from him over the years that people didn't realize, and I'd always send, if anybody wasn't doing off-road work around the community, they'd come in and say, where can we get off-road? I would tell them to see Harry Michael. He's the only local jobber in town. They're just north of town here. Gail, the third generation's taken it over a few years ago, and Harry's very proud of her. Her accomplishments are she's got great employees, Jason Rakoff, you got Tony Geib out there, and Joe, and just all kinds of good guys. And anyway, while Harry was on earth, he was a real Christian and a real good businessman, quiet guy. He patronized our car wash a couple times a week. He always went over to the Wild Rose and had lunch, frequent that place a lot. And he'd always have a stranger with him. And I often wondered who that was. Well, the stranger was someone that needed a lunch, and Harry would buy their lunch or breakfast, whatever they wanted.
Nice.
Yeah, Harry was just a great guy. He worked at ministry at the jail. He was just a true Christian, you know, and a man of few words sometimes, but he always had that quaint smile. And like I said, you know, I knew his dad Stan real well too. That's how old I am. I know 3 generations of the Michaels. Wow, what an accomplishment the good Lord has given me these years. But I'm sure he was ready to go home, see his wife, and be around that throne, because he was just a great, great guy. And anybody that ever met him liked him because I don't think he ever talked ill of anyone. That's kind of what we ought to all do too, right?
He did. Yeah,
right?
he did. Yeah.
No, you know him pretty good.
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
I got Pete Ken here on my left, your right, Bob. Right? Pete, what did you think of Harry? How well did you know him?
Well, I knew him, quite well, probably like you did, just every day. But his son-in-law, Gary Bailey, was a realtor, has his own real estate company in Reed City, and that family, excuse me, is a very good family. I mean, just incredible, and he's going to be missed.
Yeah, he sponsored a lot, and like I say, he his company. If you call him at midnight on Saturday night and you're out of LP, George Guy would jump right out of bed and go jump in that truck and go at. Now Jason Rakoff, he's waiting for that call at midnight. There's nothing better than getting out of bed and going drive a wrecker.
Yeah,
at midnight.
right. I know you loved it with the wreckers, right?
Right. But anyway, God bless you, Harry. I know he is, and you're around the throne tonight with all those petroleum dealers up there. And Gail, you're in our thoughts and prayers. Wow, we've been losing a lot of good people around Big Rapids, Bob. Sometimes it's, I'm very grateful to meet great people, but sometimes you just wish we didn't know as many people because when they pass, it's a bummer.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
But
terrible.
Grateful for all those people. You're 87 years old. How long do you plan on going? I mean, you've been retired for how many years now? Now, how many more years before you're going to go?
Probably 50 years. I've been probably retired. Pat, I never worked a day in my life. What I did, I had fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I'd travel all over the bloody world, but it was really just fun. That's the only thing I can tell you. But, I wanted to go ahead. I'm
going to ask you a couple questions because that's kind of, I'm going to question and answer. And if you'd like to call in, Pete's been on the school board longer than any other person in the history of the United States. And he's the president this year, which shows you how weak the board is. But anyway, couldn't get any better than my buddy Pete. But anyway, that being said, the old boy had a meeting last night, and usually what happens at the school board meetings is Pete hits the gavel.
I don't use a gavel.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, I've never been to one of your meetings. Yeah. But anyway, he has his dinner that we all pay for, the taxpayers. If Trump's going to do anything about that, maybe look into the ways of saving money. But anyway, they have their dinner, and then they approve everything Tim has to say, and then they shake hands and go home. Last night, that wasn't what happened. Last night, he comes in this morning. First thing he says, wow, we had a 4-hour meeting. Pete, I'd like to have you expand on that meeting and tell us what happened in your private session.
Well, I can't go over what happened in
you
closed
can't
session.
do it?
No,
and
no,
we can
no.
call it, you're senile.
No, I can't go over what was in closed session. But
if you do slip.
We had a 4-hour meeting, and it was very, very good. I mean, it was just a great meeting. Mm-hmm. I've had the longest school board meeting in, I think, history. 4 hours, and the shortest one when we were playing the regionals up in Cadillac, I think I had a 7-minute meeting. Mm-hmm. Bam, bam, let's go.
What'd you talk about?
When?
Your meeting last night.
I can't really say, Pat.
But you can.
I can say what we've done. We've done, Hillcrest. We've improved that. ISD has it. We've improved Eastwood. We've improved both the elementary schools, Brookside and Riverview. And virtual school, it's just constantly improving. And we would really like to thank the folks of Big Rapids that they let us have a school because they passed the bond.
Thank God we did.
Yeah.
It'd be double nowadays to do what we did back. And I was one of those guys that said, look, we got to get it passed because I was so disappointed the first time. And then the second time it passed.
Well, you were instrumental.
I was drunk for 3 days after that.
You were very instrumental in helping. We had a lot of guys that really did this, and we asked for 29 million, and we got 29 million.
Right.
And I know other schools around are asking for 70, 80, 85 million, and God bless them if they get it because we've done so much with the money that Big Rapids has given us.
Right.
And they're the voters. They're the ones that control what we do.
Yep.
And we as a school board and administrative offices and as school system and all the teachers, we really, really appreciate the support we get from Big Rapids.
Do you want to say hello this morning, Tim?
Yeah, I do. I want to say hi to Jeannie Fribley. And we have our euchre group tonight out at Rick Johnston's. He just had ankle surgery. And Deb's. And we go out there and we usually have 5 tables. And we play and have fun. And I did go, Pat, to the Pat's snapping his fingers at Bob. But I did go to the to play euchre where you go on Monday night, the Sawmill. And
I finished third from last night.
Yeah, it's just hard. Third from last. It's just hard for me to get out sometimes, but I am going to start coming back and playing. Yeah.
Well, good, because they asked about you last night.
They love me.
And
Pat did say, he said, you guys weren't good enough for me. I'm not good enough for you guys, really. I play euchre and I just have fun doing it.
I got to give this guy a number here so he can call in. We had something that Big Rapids has never seen before Saturday night. It was a unity parade downtown Big Rapids. People joined in hands. We had 5 bands.
Really?
And cheerleaders like you couldn't believe. And Ferris's football team was all dressed and walking down the sidewalks. And the basketball team and the tennis teams and the softball teams.
You're
And
embellishing
then we had
all this, aren't you?
Then we had the polar plunge at the very end of it Saturday night. So, folks, you missed a great one there. And then I woke up from my dream.
I knew you were embellishing this thing.
In a short moment here, we're going to have a guy call in. And I actually did text Megan Knopf this morning, and I bring her name up because she is funny. She is funny.
I knew her when she was a little baby girl. I used to give her earrings for Christmas.
Okay.
And that was her mom and dad were good friends.
I think she said something about that.
Yeah. She's a great gal.
But
Great gal.
Blake Donnelly, terrific young man. He's not even old enough to drink yet. And he put on a performance Saturday night in front of 300. It was sold out at the Eagles. And I was fortunate enough to be asked to MC it.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun doing it. It was easy to do because those two characters are so funny. And Megan came on first. And you know, Pete, I wondered what kind of performance they'd put on. Well, it was A+ performance. But I wondered what kind of script they would use. There was no vulgar language.
You probably didn't have a script.
No.
Like you and I, we don't have a script.
What was that? But anyway, my heart medicine, am I supposed to take it right now? But anyway, or is it your medicine you forgot to take?
Yep.
But anyway, they were just funny. But you know what they talked about? Everyday life. And Megan talked about her son going away to school, looking at different colleges. Flint was one, and then he ended up going to Wayne State, I think it was. But and then she talked about her life, and just a terrific entertainer. But the thing, it was so funny, but it was clean. You know, today, like Ron White and those guys get on there, you don't want your kids listening to that. This is clean fun. And then we could talk about her for half an hour. I was hoping she'd come on this morning, but maybe she's not up yet. You know, those entertainers, they sleep in the morning because she has probably every night she's out there doing something. But they have a tour they're going on. And then we could talk about her forever, but I want to jump to Blake for a minute because he's going to call in. But what an entertainer he's going to be.
Did he do the Trump bit?
Yeah.
And I heard that was a little bit of incredible.
Oh, my Lord.
Fantastic.
Bruce Borkovich said that's all he had to do. I asked him, how long was that? And I think he said 25 minutes. It was the best 25 minutes of the whole show.
It was worth it then, yeah.
I mean, Megan did a terrific job. Great lady, beautiful family. She comes from, I knew her dad and mom. Is he on the phone now?
Yeah.
Calling in. Blake, good morning.
Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Well, we're just living the American dream. We got up and everything came out well, and now everything's going in well. And yeah, God's gifted us another day. And he sure did gift us with you Saturday night. I was just alluding to that performance that you put on Saturday night. And I was telling how clean fun it was and standing ovation that we got. Even in the beginning, I didn't think you were going to get a standing ovation, so I had everybody stand up. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. You had the crowd just a-rolling before I even got out.
Oh, I don't know about that, but it was fun, wasn't it?
It was a blast. It truly was.
Well, I didn't know what you were going to do. You know, Pete, you got to think this too, because when you go on stage as a comedian, you got to have a writer. All right, you don't have a writer, so Blake did his own writing. Yeah. And so did Megan. You two did a terrific job. But anyway, isn't it great that you can talk about yourself and tell about your school days that you did and all the adventures that you've taken. Like we were talking about it Monday morning in the station, the ones that went there and the ones that weren't there wish they would have been there. But like your woods one, could you talk a little bit about that, going on your camping trip up in the UP? That was just one of your skits, but I thought that was funny, heck, because here we got Blake Donnelly that he says, I've only got 2 pair of shoes, these that I have on that make me look taller than I am, and then I wore Snickers.
I have
loafers.
2 pair of shoes. I have a pair of shoes that have about a 3-inch heel on them, and then I also have a pair of loafers, and those are my 2 go-to shoes.
Are
My
they
dad
penny
asked me to
loafers?
go on a trip and up to the UP, and I said, sure, why not? And I think that we're staying in a hotel, but the hotel was not in the vocabulary for this trip. And those of you that have met my dad knows that my dad is a country bumpkin. You know, he is redneck as all get out. And those of you that know me know that I am very posh, you could say. I don't rough it a lot. And I made the very vital mistake of walking away from the truck, and I I didn't see him pack the tents. And we get to the UP, and and we're just, it's 3 a.m. It's been a late night, and I'm trying to get into this hotel because, it's got plumbing. And so he didn't want to go into a hotel, and we ended up going out into the middle of what I call Buck Tussle, Alabama. We've got, just the middle of nowhere. So we drive out into, first I said to him, where are we going? Right? Like, it's 3 a.m. Where are we going? What's the destination? And his exact words to me were, well, I haven't picked it yet. Well, now, hold on a minute. You haven't picked it yet? You mean to tell me we're just aimlessly wandering in the woods? Okay, I guess. Well, then, we slept in the truck the first night. The next day we go out, and we're just driving around for what seemed like days. And we find this one spot, get just about to what I think is going to be where we're going to be living for the next week. And he didn't like that spot. So we got back in the truck and drove for another 3 hours to another place in the middle of the forest that looked exactly like the first spot. And he loved that spot. So that's where we stayed. And I get out of the truck and I'm walking around, right? And I sit there and I think to myself, okay, I am hanging on to the last little shred of hope because I know that I am just not going to like sleeping under the stars, as they say.
Right.
And we get up there and my dad says to me, yeah, this is a great spot. I said, well, does it have a bathroom? And he goes, oh, well, yeah, of course. So, I get all excited, and then I think to myself, okay, well, where is it? And he goes, well, we haven't dug it yet. Oh, wait a minute now. Well, whoa. I am in loafer, What? What do you mean you have not dug it yet? Well, you're in the great outdoors. Oh, no. No. We're not doing this. Please tell me you're joking. I said, well, what about a shower? Oh, yeah, we've got one of those too. And now I think, okay, he's screwing with me. So I'm like, well, what's that? Well, we've got running water. It's a lake. Well, okay, great. Yeehaw.
You guys don't know Blake.
And then he tells me, yeah, we're in wolf country. And there's bears up here, big bears.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at the tent, and I see how thin it is, the walls. And I look down at me and the box of Little Debbie's I'm holding. And I think to myself, that is not going to stop a bear from getting me. So for the remainder of the trip, I slept in the truck.
Good move.
Hey, it was funny. Your skit was just hilarious. The whole thing. Now, the end of the show was
Yes.
fabulous.
Trump, was that the
Yeah,
Trump deal?
yeah.
I heard a lot of
I
stuff
have
about the
gotten-
Trump deal. Yeah.
So many phone calls, Pat. I was in the airport yesterday. That's, I'm no longer there, but that's why I'm not in the studio with you this morning. But I've gotten so many phone calls and text messages and emails, telling me, don't give that up.
No.
Don't. For those of you that weren't there, the last 20 to 30 minutes of the show, I did a Trump impression, and we came out and, we did the speech, and we brought some people on stage, and we started signing executive orders, and without giving too much away, we built the wall. I signed an executive order to build a wall around Ohio.
Yeah.
Just to keep the Buckeyes out.
Right. Yeah. Well, and
But,
then
yeah.
can you do a little skit for us on Trump when you first came out, though, at the podium? You sit there. Of course, you can't see. I wish you were here so we could put it on Facebook. But all your body language, how you did it, and then the wig, and oh my gosh, you sounded. I was telling Bruce, I says, if we shut our eyes, we'd think Don was up there. I mean, you must have practiced a lot of hours to talk like him, or how did you do that?
Oh, my word. Well, when I was younger, I had this real high, squeaky voice. And the older I got, the lower my voice got. And then Trump, started to come into the political scene and was on the news every night. And just like today, my voice is kind of a little gravelly. It's not what it usually is. And so one day I just, was sitting there and I thought, well, we're going to build a wall. And then I was like, just perfect. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is something I could capitalize on. And then, the more and more that, he became president in 2016 and so many events happened in that 40 years, it was like, how could you not run with this? So then it turned into, doing a longer impression, which takes more work because, it's not just building a wall or, it's fantastic. It's not that. It's you have a whole bunch of fill words, too, and because you're talking about something, right? You're not just saying the punchline phrase that he always says. And so that took a lot of work because, he's from New York, and you have to shape the words around him, and how he shapes his words and his mouth when he does it, and body language is a big part of it too. You can't get Trump without the body language. So, yeah.
Say it for us. I know they don't like me. He don't like me.
Oh.
How'd you do that one? I know not gonna like this.
I said, people of Big Rapids, so good to be here. Fake news media, they are not here. They don't like me too much, that fake news media. They don't like me too much. They always complain about the size of my crowds, and I'd say that this is a pretty big crowd. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot
That
of
was
fun.
good.
Let me say WBZX,
Top of the hour.
WBZX Big Rapids, 9 o'clock.
Already, yeah. Where are you at today?
Me?
Yeah, you in Florida?
Yeah. I ended up flying out last night and didn't get into Florida till about 11 o'clock last night. So yeah, I'm down here, and I have to say it's wonderful, Pat.
Oh
Sunny and 78.
Smart ace. Yeah, that's a joke in itself. We're supposed to get some real snow here coming up, Bob. Right, next couple nights, 8 inches.
Wednesday into Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna miss
Yeah, I
some
know
good
the
snow.
pilot came on. The pilot came on last night as we were leaving Detroit, and he goes, "Well, folks, this is your flight to Tampa." He goes, "I'm so sorry for the delay that we had, but I think that we can all agree that the delay is better than getting stuck here, because Wednesday they're getting 9 inches of snow in Detroit. And I thought,
Right.
oh, ooh.
Now, what are you doing down there?
I have a check ride that I'm doing. I'm finishing up my instrument rating, flying-wise.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
that's on Thursday, so I flew in to practice up a little bit before I go take the test.
Oh, okay. So you do it down there, eh?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do it in here. The weather's more cooperative because you can't fly in the snow up there.
Right. Not too good, can you? But your plane's up here, right?
No, it's down here in Florida.
You drove it down there?
Yeah, I flew it down
Wow.
end of December.
Well, one of these days you have to take Pete and I for coffee somewheres with it. Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you and Miss Penny should come down for spring break or something, and I'll take you island hopping.
Oh, boy, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? What?
Yeah, it would be, for sure.
Yeah, we'll be down there in March. I think it's March.
Oh, you should give me a call.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. You're down there for how long?
Oh, I come back, the 19th of February.
Okay.
But I go back and forth, with my grandparents. So I'm sure I'll be down here when...
So your
when you
tour,
are.
when's your next show?
Yeah, my next show. We're working on some dates a little bit, just kind of getting some wrinkles ironed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably be releasing some dates for the first leg of this tour here.
Well, that was
Well,
really
I
good
think probably
Saturday night. I
the
thought
next
Megan did a real good
weekend.
job. You give her an A+, did you?
Megan, yeah. She's a wonderful person.
She is.
I love her to death.
I knew her dad and mom real well, and her dad was one of our coffee guys in the morning, and he had a dry sense of humor. He was just one terrific man. He was a football coach in Bay City, I think, before he came to Ferris, and anybody that ever met Tom Walsh liked him. He was one of those guys, again, most of us should try to emulate. He was just fair to everybody and real honest guy, but he had a great sense of humor. And I thought of him Saturday night. I was watching his daughter there. I thought, oh my God, if Tom was here, he'd be laughing, just having a great time, be so proud of her to see that she's enjoying life. And her family, she comes from just a great family. Her sisters, I know them well. And
Her mom.
Yeah, great people. Just like you got a great grandpa there. And everybody was asking me, not everybody, about 3 people actually, maybe 2. Well, all right, Bob, did you ask me, where'd Blake Donnelly come from? I says, oh, he came from a chicken, and he's going to bring that up some night. But anyway, no, they asked me about the Donnelly because that's kind of a good name around Big Rapids and Reed City area. And I had to tell them that I didn't have to, but I told them your great-grandfather was Newell Donnelly. Of course, everybody
God,
relates
Newell
to...
was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, that's how old you are.
Well, he hired Walt Uhrig from Hart, and then after Walt came in, Ken
Waltz.
Ken Walls came in and was a
Pete
figurehead
Jordan,
for Big Rapids.
Fershie, and
Well, they weren't with Newell, I don't think.
Well, you would remember. I'm not that old. But anyway, everybody knows the Donnelly name real well, and then Terry Fulish, your grandpa there, and your dad.
Was
and,
Dick Donnelly was
cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
He was superintendent of school.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Good name.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, Pat. I got to run.
Go.
But,
You running now? You told us Saturday night you don't run.
I don't run. You're right. I got to slowly walk through the door.
Okay, there. I love you. All right, Blake, we'll let you go. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks.
And once again, thanks from the heart from Big Rapids. I mean, tell you what, you did a great job, and laughter is the best medicine you could give anyone, and you sure made the tummies hard that night, that's for sure. Rolling over.
Well, thank you, Pat. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
God bless. All right,
Bye-bye.
we're going to take a break here and thank our sponsors. We'll be right back with the Pete and Pat, and Pete will thank some people out there, I'm sure, and have some great news that giving away his money is what he's talking about doing, giving to charity and stuff. So we'll be right back.
Where do you go for Michigan's #1 concealed pistol license course? the same place thousands of Michigan residents have over the past 15 years, the Barrington Firearms Training Center. The BFTC conducts state-certified CPL courses right here locally inside the Barrington Conservation Club at 3444 18 Mile Road in Barrington. For just $99, all you need to bring us is your Michigan ID to these all-inclusive one-day CPL courses, which include the use of firearms, ammo, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon. That's right, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. Students will also be trained on when it is legal to defend themselves with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for one of their upcoming $99 all-inclusive CPL courses. Get armed, get trained at the Barrington Firearms Training Center.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash, and a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
Dale I've known for many, many years, and I tell you what, when somebody needs some help, he's there. Just like your typical Mecosta County resident, Dale Whaley is a good American. So if you're ever looking for a drywaller for free estimate, call Dale. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with his work. I have recommended Dale to a lot of people, and you know what the greatest compliment I've ever gotten is thanks for sending Dale. He did a great job for me. Guy's just fantastic. Just not only is a drywaller with DW2 drywalling, but just a great person. It doesn't hurt to have him come into Curry's either. There's just so many good things about Dale. He's just a great American, and give him a call, DW2 Drywall at 231-679-0475. That's right, 231-679-0475. Dale Whaley is DW2 Drywall. Greatest guy on drywalling end of it.
A trusted landscape design starts with the right team, and the right team to discuss what can be is Michigan Landscape and Excavate. This team is led by Michigan lifer Jeff Garrett. Jeff has assembled a team that knows that high customer satisfaction is why they stay in business. He requires his team to be the most professional service you've ever worked with for both residential and commercial accounts. Grading and land sculpting, trenching, excavating, septic systems, bulldozing, retaining walls, hydro seeding, seasonal cleanup, one-offs. They're a full-service landscape and excavation contractor. Michigan Landscape and Excavate create complete landscape solutions to be uniquely personal. As they say, now that's magazine-worthy. They're committed to excellence. Text or call 231-349-4667 or email michigan.landscape.excavate@gmail.com.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, color tile. Stop and shop with us for a while.
This is Amy.
And this is Corinne
from Gilbert's Carpets Plus Color Tile.
Are you ready to upgrade your space? Stop by Gilbert's and check out our completely renovated showroom with new displays and samples. With a warehouse full of inventory and options for every style and budget, your dream home is within reach.
Gilbert's offers free estimates and flexible options, whether you want a professional installation or prefer to cash and carry. We've got you covered. From ceramic tile and vinyl plank to countertops, window treatments, and carpet, Gilbert's has it all.
Visit us at 14150 Northland Drive in Big Rapids or call 231-796-2700. With a fully stocked warehouse and a showroom designed just for you, Gilbert's is your go-to for quality and convenience.
Gilbert's Carpets Plus, color tile. Stop and shop with us for a while. Gilbert's is there for you.
You go ahead, Pete. Go
Hey,
ahead, Pete.
Pat, I just want to say my friend who has vacuum center He is going to be 39 this morning, and that's Terry Postema and his wife, Cindy. It's kind of a funny story how they met, he and Cindy. Terry was single. Cindy was single. Cindy was his mail lady. Well, then she delivered the mail to him, and they're married. They built a new home out there on the water, I think, or Paris, or wherever they moved. And great couple, and I want to wish Terry just a very, very happy birthday.
Remember the old days? You'd always say my brother was the mailman's.
Yep.
Remember that? No, it was just vice versa.
Well, they said that's what one of my kids looked like, the mailman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lucy. I was just funning.
Milkman or the mailman?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
mailman.
You always made that relationship with your wife. How about you, Bob? Did you have a mailman or a mailwoman?
I did, yeah. I mean, several.
Did you have a milkman?
Yeah, I did. Actually, where I grew up, the milkman was the mailman.
We used
he was
to
the
have an
postmaster,
iceman.
but he also ran the dairy.
Yeah.
We used to have an Iceman. It would deliver 50 pounds, 100 pounds of ice.
Mr. Enstein. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
We're in New York, Bob?
Yep, out in Calverton.
Well, no one
Illinois.
would know that name, so why would you mention that name?
Hey, you guys bring up names all the time.
We had Mr. Hendrickson. Vic Hendrickson was our softener guy back in the old days.
Mine too.
They used to deliver salt to the houses.
Yep.
Not anymore. You buy them at the Curries, Amoco, or you buy it at Menards. If you want the best price in town, it's ours.
The one company still
Co-op
does.
sells them. McGirdle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it, but that's south of town there.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking. Do they deliver it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you got
'Cause
to.
I know Hendricks did for years.
Yeah. Well, Vic and Tom, and they were right next door to the cleaners, and I used to go out and had coffee with them and chit chat with them a little bit. But they always took care of me. Also, they had a big bottle of 15-gallon or 20 gallons of water. Out of the machine.
Yeah, they started that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Do you do that now?
I don't know. I don't do it at my house.
No. You have good water there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good water.
Is it good spring water
it's
there?
good water. Yeah.
You don't have to have a softener?
No. Yeah, I have a softener, but the water's incredible.
But it's not hard?
I don't think so, but my wife wants a softener. I said, okay.
Right. So she runs.
She runs the family. Yeah, I just kind of get the money out and pay her whatever.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. Do you have a favorite song, Pete?
I do.
What is it?
Return to Sender.
Oh, Lord.
That's my favorite.
It's in there. We'll play it at the end after
we'll
everything.
play that at the end for Peter. Yeah. Well, anyway, I just want to wish some other people happy birthdays. I kind of jotted them down here so I wouldn't forget. Yesterday it was Tina Katie. Today is Jana Grunts. Jana Grunts from the Grunt store. Her and Bob run that. It's Pam's sister. Jana's been a great cook for many, many years. And her story on life is that she put her daughter through school by baking. Did you know that?
No.
Yep. She is quite the baker. She can make anything you want. As long as it's got flour in it, she can do it. And she sold cookies, still is. Sold cakes, still is. Pies, still is. Rolls, whatever you need, Jana Grunts, she can make it. You can buy it. And she put her daughter. So that's an American true story, isn't it, huh?
It is, yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it's a good hero. So anyway, you can make it, folks, if you want to. You don't need the government. But anyway, like I said, we got some birthday babies here. Phil Tetzworth turned 73.
Oh, wow, my neighbor.
Yeah, Phil.
My neighbor, yeah.
Great guy. He comes out of Manistee Catholic, came down here and married Julie Miles, and had two wonderful daughters and a stepson. And
Bob
just
Miles'
great
daughter.
people. And
Bob Miles.
And she's greatly missed here in the community. Julie was a great staple.
Do you remember her mother?
Oh, yeah.
Libby? Oh, golly. She was great. She was great.
She was a nice lady.
Yep.
I don't think I ever went in front of Mr. Judge Miles before.
I didn't either.
But I did go in front of a few of them. But, so happy birthday, Phil. Tim Burns down in Zephyr Hills, Florida. He's one of those rich guys that retired many moons ago. He's turned 81 years old. Last year, 82 this year.
That's old.
And the reason I know his age, I put up 83 on the marquee yesterday, but I didn't post it 83. I called him up. I said, Tim, you're only 82, right? He goes, yeah. I said, well, my phone says 83. No, not 83. And I remember he's 82 because he's exactly 10 years older than I. I turned 72 this year, and he turns 82. So he always said it's easy to remember how old I am, Pat. I'm 10 years older than you. But Phil's a great guy. Tim's a great guy. Tim had a hole-in-one here last week to celebrate his birthday. It was 175 yards, shot a 7-iron, he said. And that was his 13th hole-in-one.
Wow.
I mean, how many guys do you know has
one? I don't even have one.
No, I don't either. But, you know, he plays a lot of golf, but he is an extremely good golfer.
Oh, he's a good golfer.
But 13, I think that's the record from Acosta
I would
County.
say so, yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever gotten 13 holes in
I don't
one,
think anybody's got
in golfing
two.
Anyway, huh?
I don't think anybody's two beside Tim. Two.
Yeah, right.
Maybe three, I don't know, but it's crazy.
Yep. And, you know, another one, the birthday we just have today is Gail Wyatt.
Can I say something there about Gail?
Yep.
Gail and I fool around and want to take a little real estate school.
Does Lucy know that?
75.
Oh, you don't fool around on Lucy.
No. Oh. And so or whenever I was, maybe I was younger in that 60s, but Gail and I took, with Laura Veersma, took real estate school up in Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
And so Gail and I decided to go down to the Holiday Inn in Lansing and get a room. We had 2 rooms.
Oh, that's enough,
Two
Pete.
rooms,
oh,
2 rooms.
Lord.
2 rooms.
Lucy,
but
I
we studied about 10 hours. And Gail will tell you, I mean, we aced that test. It was so easy for us because we were so well prepared. But it's funny that her daughter is now our lead bus driver over at she's like second in charge over there at the bus barns, yeah. And she's just a wonderful, wonderful girl. That's her daughter. But Gail is too. But
yeah. I just think if everybody was like Gail Wyatt, the world would be such more peaceful.
Absolutely.
She's very, very smart, but she's just got a demeanor that is
friendly.
Yeah, you know, always got that smile, even in tough times. You know, she lost a lot of family members here about a month ago, and she kept her head up, but you could see the sorrow. I mean, I felt bad for her because, I mean, they were close to her, family members. And she's just a great lady, but she is a true Christian. And there was some talk in town, people, you know, over the Chinese thing over in the past, and didn't like people's opinions and stuff. And somebody threw me under the bus, maybe more once or twice. Yeah.
Oh, they wouldn't have done that, would they?
Well, that's okay. It didn't bother me at all.
Did the wheels hurt going over you? Or
no. You know what, Pete? It really doesn't bother me. I think people have a right for their opinion.
You got to respect their opinion.
And yeah. So I don't hate anybody. A little disappointed, but not hating. And God bless her. She came up to me at a funeral home, and we greeted each other. And she, like I say, it was just a gradual greeting. And she goes, "I want you to know I'm praying for you, Pat."
Because you were against Goshen, right?
No, because of what had been said or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, oh, God, thank you, because you know what, it's working.
I've never heard a bad word said about you.
Let's just not talk too much about it, but I'm just saying that's what kind of lady she is.
Well, can I tell you what kind of guy I am? You and I disagree, not a lot, but on a few
most
things.
of the time, but go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. You're for Goshen. You're against Goshen.
Whatever.
I'm for Goshen. So I just want to let you know that. But we're still very good friends.
Well, there you go again. Jen will have him off the radio next Tuesday. Folks, this is Pete's last day.
Okay, Jen, I'm sorry if you're driving in, but if you are, bring the donuts.
You know one thing about it, Pete?
We're a little hungry.
It's just an opinion.
I know it. You got to respect it.
Yeah, right.
I respect your opinion.
Yeah, right. Well, you don't. But
I do. Yeah. No, I do. I respect it.
God bless you. But anyway, let's have some more cookies. You need some more sugar. Get you going a little bit here.
Where are the cookies, Bob?
But anyway, Christy Kelly, Brian's wife, turns another year older. Natalie Routley turns another year older. Mary Bordeaux, school teacher at Brookside, 60 years old.
She is incredible.
She's on the school board when we hired her. Yeah, she worked for us once, then left, went out west with her husband.
Mary is something else.
And,
she is a great teacher.
Yep,
really.
she is. Nice gal. Nice gal. Got a good group of fans. They had a big 60th birthday party for her over at the Eagles last Friday night, I think it was. Yep, day before her birthday. I think she turned 60 on Saturday. Should have put it on the sign. Maybe I still will. Sean McFarland, good friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a few years, but when you meet somebody like Sean, you never forget him. He was a graduate of Big Rapids, lifelong resident of Big Rapids here. Sean, a great guy. He worked for Admiral Corporation for many, many years.
Yep, he ran it, didn't he?
Well, he ran it. Started out as a young man there and made a career out of it, ended up being the district manager for them, ran quite a few of them. And we wish them good health and another year older. I guess he might be 68 years old now, probably. Yeah, probably 67 maybe. Yeah.
Close.
Them guys are right behind me, I know that. But anybody else I got down here? Let's see, I think I said everybody. So it's 22 after 9. Pete can't entertain us. I'm going to have to do the entertaining because, like I said,
He didn't bring his ukulele today.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and sing, why don't you, Pat? You're a good singer.
Well, no, not really. Last week we had.
He needs Paul Quant back to do that.
Yeah, really. We had a great group in here last week. Paul and
where are we this week?
And,
Chicken liver?
Blake Donnelly.
Chicken livers this
well,
week.
We should have had them back on because they're great singers, and I think we have a great. The Peaks has got something going on. I think this.
I have his pick. That's as much as we're going to get. I have his guitar pick.
Valentine's dinner.
Have you ever sang, Bob?
Solo that you can't hear me.
There you go. That's probably the best one to do it. Well, I don't know. Let's see what else is going on. Big Rapids High School's got a great basketball team again, the girls and the boys. The girls just barely beat Reed City, but I talked to Jessica Heiss, the coach there, and she said we just had a bad game. They won by 2. I guess that's all you
wow,
need to know,
they were up more than that, and they were up very a lot of points, and then they just kind of lackadaisical, and they wound up winning by 2, and they should have won by 10. I went to the game. It was senior night, and they had all the seniors out there. And
well, I went up to Reed City and watched the JV play, and if you get a chance, folks, you got to go watch those kids play. Tony Foster's youngest one there, Eli. He's playing as a freshman. He's built like a brick, beep. And that freshman, they're all 9th graders on the JV, and boy, they got a good team.
What about Tony's son, Garrett?
Yep,
he's going on to Ferris State, and that's quite an honor because I can't remember really the last time Shibley and maybe Sontag, but I can't remember the last time we had a lot of Bill Place, but a lot of guys that were graduated from Big Rapids High School go to Ferris and play football. And that's quite an honor. Tony must think a lot of them, and he's such a nice young man.
Did you say Bill Shibley?
Wasn't Bill Shibley get a scholarship? He played
he played for Ferris, but he's from Emmett.
Yeah, but I said that's right. But didn't he get a scholarship, right?
He says he does. I don't believe him. He just came back from the cruise and told us about his cruise.
He didn't gamble either on the cruise. He said.
No, he said he didn't gamble, but I said to him, would you go again? He goes, not for 10 days.
Yeah, go for a week. That's good enough.
Or 4 days.
I made 2 cruises, one to Alaska, which was a little bit incredible, and then one to the Caribbean, and which was very nice. But I like the Alaskan cruise.
I'd like to drive to Alaska.
No, you wouldn't. Because you drive, you go outside of town like Juneau. You go a mile out of town, big super highway. You run into a big mountain. That's as far as the road goes. You don't run you almost got a boulder.
Yeah, you can't drive to Juneau.
You
have to fly or take the ferry.
Well, who said I was going to Juneau?
Well, that's the capital, right? You want to hit the capital, big university.
You don't have a road going into the capital of Alaska?
Not too many mountains, or whatever.
University of Alaska or Alaska University or whatever. Alaska
Anchorage.
Anchorage.
Yeah, you can go to Anchorage and to Fairbanks.
But not to Juneau. Juneau's the capital.
I have not. I've flown over it. That's about that's bucket list. I would complete my 50 states.
I've been lucky. I've been to all 50 states.
Nice.
And, I've been most all over Europe and Asia, and it's kind of nice.
Kind of a boring show this morning.
Yeah, well, we can wrap up. I mean, Jen.
We could play some music.
Yeah, well, we'd have to turn on.
What do you mean a boring show? I thought you did a heck of a job, really. I thought you were fantastic.
Oh, God bless you.
He only likes it when there's 30 people in here.
Right, yeah. One thing we don't get is COVID, though.
Yeah, we don't.
No.
My neighbors got it.
Nobody.
When I've fallen 3 times in the last maybe 3 months at my house. And one time I broke my wrist and they had to operate and put a steel plate in there. But I called my neighbor up, Brian D'Angelo, and each time he's come over, he's had to pick me up. The old adage on TV, help me, I'm falling and I can't get up, It's true. Yeah. I couldn't get up. Could not get up, and I believe that ad today.
But, now on a serious note, Pete, now they have an app on your phone that you can scan your food, your canned foods.
What's an app? What is an app? I don't know what an app is. I don't have any apps.
On the phone. I don't have one either, but I see these ladies are doing it, and a lot of stuff's not good for you. But you're 87 years old. I'm sure people want to live to be that old with a good mind that you have. But what is your diet a day? Would you mind telling us what you eat?
Well, I go and have a couple of pieces of toast at Curry's every morning.
What kind of toast?
I have sourdough.
Okay.
And a little raspberry jelly, Smuckers.
Okay.
And then you won't believe this, but I sometimes go and have a salad or a hamburger at Curry's for lunch. And dinner, my daughter Renee makes an incredible meal, vegetables and protein, and she does our cooking. And oh wow, how lucky am I to have that kind of daughter?
But you've been sick almost to death.
Yeah.
And you just bounce back by.
Yeah.
What is it? Just mental?
I don't know. Pat, I don't know. I just have a will to live, and God has probably kept me alive. I've got to do something, but I don't know what it is yet.
Well, I
something
think,
I've got to
Bob, and I think what it really is that God doesn't want him.
I
think God says,
agree. Maybe
keep him down there in Big Rapids. We don't want him up here. He's a shrewd card player.
Well, they don't have donuts. That's it. You know,
No, I don't want that. But I know I played cards at the Sawmill on Monday nights with my daughter Abby, and we just have a terrific time with those people over there. They're just the salt of the earth. And last night, a couple of the ladies, Lucy, if you're listening, asked about Pete, and they said, he used to come over and play with us. And I said, if Lucy ever finds that out, she's going to be mad at Pete because she's the only one. Yeah. And they said, oh, we mean cards.
Yeah.
I said, oh, cards. Okay, cards. Well, anyway.
I'm 87, and what else can
I told him, he goes to bed by 7 o'clock. So we start at 7, but you're going to have to come over and surprise visit because they really enjoyed it. But I said, well, he's a little stinker when it comes to cards. I don't know if we'd want him here. He'd probably beat us.
I love you.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to come over.
Yeah, I will. I'll make it. Call me, remind me Monday night, and I'll come over. I will come over.
Yeah, because it is. Fred does a nice job over there, and he's got good help.
Yeah, and it's free to play, and you get prizes of food.
Yeah.
$5, $10, or $15, depending where you come in. And I've got some food certificates, and I know you did too there. So, and the food is good. The drinks are good. I don't drink, but everyone says they're good.
Yeah,
and it's just a fun evening at 7 o'clock. You go over. And
Fred does a nice job over there for his mother Linda, that's for sure. But anyway, what else? What else can we talk about? We look outside right now; it's not snowing. So if I was a meteorologist, I'd say we got a couple inches there, and that's about as far as I can say. And it looks like the sun's not going to shine today, is it?
It's not. It may be a peak. That's it.
But
not like yesterday. Yesterday.
I talked to anybody in Florida, and they say the sun's coming out.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, they're cheerful as hell.
Sure.
It's kind of nice to call up down there and see how it is.
Yeah. I like, something, I love Big Rapids. I love the Four Seasons. I like the people.
Are you still skiing?
Am I still what?
Skiing?
Skiing.
Yes.
Farthest I've come in skiing is watching them on television make the ski jumps.
Well,
I don't ski.
He watched Wide World of Sports, and the guy fall off the ski jump, and that was the end of that.
Do you sleep with the CPAP?
No, I don't do that either. I just
What do you take for medications?
I take a little blood pressure, and I take, but that's about it. I take about 8 or 9 pills a day, but it's, like vitamin E and a baby aspirin and something else.
Do you take a statin for cholesterol?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? What
I
kind?
do at night. I don't know.
How many milligram?
I don't even know, Pat. I just
you
do
see
what
now
they
you
tell
defy the odds because they say that causes dementia, and you don't have dementia.
I hope I don't. The thing about it is that I like to think my health is good. I still think I'm like in high school, but I'm in the nursing home. I should be in the nursing home, and I thank God I can still walk a little bit, and I know that you have me. You do my gas for me, and you also help me get my coffee, and that's what it's all about. You try to help people.
But when you go in the nursing home, I'll come over and visit you.
Okay, good.
And you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
I'm going to grab your wallet and go through it.
You can do that.
And then you want to just lay there and watch me.
Yeah, you can do that.
Get all them $100 bills out.
Yeah.
How's everything else going?
But everything is going so great with me. And I went down to visit my son in Texas for about 3 weeks over Thanksgiving. And, man, what a great place to be. I was just glad to get back to Big Rapids. I just love Big Rapids. I just do.
Well, let me ask you a question now, and I know you're going to say, but the old jail's been a topic for the city lately.
Yeah.
What? Oh, we got a call coming in. First-time caller, probably AC. They hung up on you?
I guess so. Yeah, I can try back.
Call back. You can call back, folks. But the old jail's a topic right now.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? I mean, some people say, well, urban renewal did away with a lot of that years ago when we rebuilt Big Rapids. And then there's people that are proponents that say, we need to keep it alive.
Our history in Big Rapids, like even partly the courthouse and the old jail, and some of these things we have to preserve. Because I was in urban renewal. They kicked my cleaners out, and I had to move. I was right downtown, 121 South Michigan. And I think urban renewal just took a lot of buildings down maybe they shouldn't have taken down. And but you got to keep up with the times. We had some bad buildings knocked down. We had some good buildings put up, like the old First National Bank. The First National Bank used to be where Lake Osceola Bank is today.
So what, Pete, you're an entrepreneur, been a good businessman for a lot of years, done well, enough blowing smoke up here, What does Big Rapids need downtown to revitalize it?
Someone asked me that the other day. I think we need, when I came to town, we had like 3 or 4 men's shops. Town and Country, the Collegiate Shop, the Toggery, and we had like 2 or 3 shoe stores. But we don't have any retail downtown. Why would we come downtown? We come down for Shoeberg's. We come down, to come down to one of the other stores. But we don't have a lot of retail stores. We used to have Linton's on the corner, And
I know, but if you could take a wand and say, this is what we're going to have, what is it going to take? Or is it ever going to come back?
Well, it's going to come back, Pat. We went through this 50 years ago.
Okay.
But it's going to come back once the town bands together and we have some empty buildings. And,
what do you think we need?
I don't know. I think about this all the time.
Well,
I think some kind of retail. I think we need more. We have the Serendipity on the corner, and but if that's for women's. But if I want to go get a suit or a pair of shoes, where am I going? I've got to go to Grand Rapids. Where am I going to go? I don't think a suit. The old days, all the Ferris kids wore slacks and sweaters or suits or sport coats.
Right.
They don't do that anymore. They wear jeans.
Well, they wear
t-shirts.
jeans to church now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we always used to wear suits.
If I wore jeans to church back when Eleanor Baumick was alive, she'd haul me outside.
And the women used to wear hats and always.
It was a jacket and tie for me.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. But it's we just need, I think, I think that'd be a good strategic planning session for the city commissioners. What do we need in Big Rapids, and how are we going to get it?
You know what I think we need?
What?
An Amazon center.
Yeah, that'll take all the business out of Big Rapids.
Well,
that would be the distribution.
If you look
I think the shopping centers, Pat. When I came down, there was no shopping centers.
Sure.
And everything was downtown. But now we have the shopping. We had the Woolworths downtown. We had Linton's. We had the Dibbles. We had Toggery. We had Town and Country. Town and Country Her. We had 2 or 3 jewelry stores in town. We had 2 or 3 men's shoe shops. We don't have any of that. We got to go out of town to buy, and that's the sad thing about it. We have no department stores.
But everybody says theater, and you say, you know what? You bring a theater. Are you going like every couple of weeks? No. You're going to go when there's a big movie. And you know what? We're going to go to Grand Rapids because they have the nice seats there.
Yeah.
And so, everybody wants it, but nobody will go to it.
We had nice seats over that one across the river. But the key thing is, no one would support the movie. You can go.
COVID killed those guys.
You go on Amazon. You go on Netflix. You go on all these different things, and you get all the movies you want. You get brand new ones.
Yep, you can sit at home, but COVID is what killed.
Killed it.
Bulldog Cinema.
I'll tell you what I would do if I had a wand.
Could have got a steakhouse.
Lots of money. I would come into Big Rapids. And I would go over on the east side of Big Rapids and probably buy 2 or 3 blocks up, take all the houses out of there. And then I'd put a sports complex in, out of this world sports complex, that you could have it all there. Because then you're right across town from Big Rapids, downtown, convenience right there, the restaurants.
Hotels. And
you're close to Curries.
But you had to go buy Curries, that's why you wanted it out there.
And then I would have my softball fields. I'd have baseball in there.
Pickleball.
These people today, the young people today, for entertainment is not going to the theaters.
No, right. It's their phones or computers.
Well, I'm talking about young people in their 30s and 40s, parents. Their entertainment is their boys playing sports, their daughters playing sports. It's a 5 nights a week, man. You look at hockey, those people are just...
And where do they go? They go to our gyms. that's the hockey stadium. We have a lot to offer.
I know, but we don't have a big sports complex. You go to Mount Pleasant, and they have three big sports complexes.
Yeah.
We're over there all the time, and that place is flooded with people.
packed,
And I watch that concession stand. I don't know how much money they take in, but they take in a lot. Plus, you pay a little bit to play there. Plus, you got to get gas. You might go out for dinner. You go into the restaurants over there, Freddy's. I like to stop at Freddy's. You know where that's at, don't you?
No, you told me about it.
My
but
Lord,
I'm
you
gonna go.
grew up there, didn't you?
No, my wife did.
Oh.
But you know what I want to ask you? What would you put in the old drugstore, Southland Pharmacy? What would you like to see go in there?
Well, again, everything is being bought on Amazon, so it's going to be pretty hard.
I would like to see a big restaurant, Olive Garden or Red Lobster or a steakhouse, a Texas steakhouse.
Yeah. But Pete, the problem is with that is now you're talking to operate something like that, you're probably talking
a lot of money.
$10,000 a month.
Oh, easy. The rent would be that probably.
Well, even if it's not, say $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
So now, what does it take to pay for that $10,000 a month?
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
How do you get people here? They say, well, we're a poor county.
Yep.
Well, we have to draw people from the outside. If you look at Mount Pleasant right now, they're hurting for students at Central Michigan right now.
So
they're down
fair
and they're
system.
cry. But you go over there and their businesses, their bars are busy, their restaurants are busy, their gas stations are busy. Everything's busy. You know why? They're drawing people like Pat Curry and Pete Kent over there to watch their kid play ball.
Or go to dinner.
I go into Freddy's twice last week. We were over there watching. Friday night, we went in there and had dinner.
$100.
And I talking to this couple that was there with their daughter from Mount Pleasant. And we got a call in.
Yeah, let's bring the call in.
Let's call her in.
I mean, when
First time
you're
in.
on the air. Hello.
Pat, baby, it's me, Blake.
Yes, Blake. God bless you.
I'm watching the show on Facebook there, and mine's probably a little further behind. But one thing that I wanted to say, because right now the live is saying, you guys were talking about putting, the restaurants downtown or down south town and whatnot. And I think it would be a great idea, but we don't have the economy for it right now because, our economy is so not slated for small business owners.
Right.
Let's put a comedy club in.
It's startup right now.
Put a comedy club in.
Well, there you go, Blake. You know what? Look at the people you do. Let's just use that for an example. I went to your comedy show Saturday night, and I dare say I knew only about, I'll go quickly, 50% of the people there. You drew people from out of town there, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what's the furthest distance anybody came from? Howard City, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? Did you know?
I read the report, and I think the furthest, minus my friends that came up from Florida, I think the furthest was D.C.
British Columbia?
Oh, D.C.
Yeah.
Washington.
I'm just
Washington,
wow.
D.C.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Trump
So,
was there. That was
how many people do you think? It's an unfair question, but you don't know. But they didn't have a dinner there. I guess they did out front, but nobody went to that. They ate before they came to your show.
They were packed at the steak dinner. Steak dinner.
So they had to eat someplace. So I'll guarantee you, Schuberg's was busy, Zotz were busy, Blue Cow up in there. I mean,
was that so, Pat? You mentioned Blue Cow. It's for
no,
sale, but
not that. No. But anyway, Blake, you're calling from Florida, so we'll get you on here. But anyway, so you brought people in here. That's kind of entertainment that's going to bring people from out of town into our town and spend money here, right?
Oh, 100%. But the problem is you got to have the entertainment consistently to bring people in.
Right. Well, maybe you need to work on that because I know Alicia down there and Tyler Hunty are doing that down to the Peaks.
That's where he ought to be, is the Peaks. Once a month, you ought to be there at the Peaks and bring a show and have 2 or 3 different types of shows, but even bring some of your friends in there, that are comedies, comedians.
Oh yeah.
Well,
but I heard you did a fantastic show.
Every third Thursday of the month, they do a comedy show there. So kind of peep the Peaks there. If you're looking for more comedy and I'm not around, hit up the Peaks on Thursday nights.
There you go. Every third, you said?
I think, yeah.
Third
I think that's
Thursday,
what
yeah.
she said when we were there. Every third Thursday, I think they do a comedy show.
Well, I know you're a young man, but as a young man looks, what do you think Big Rapids needs?
Well, I think that they need entertainment to start because, I agree with Pete. I'd like to see, Red Lobster or something get put in, but right now you don't have the demand for it. Right. You've already got Ruby Tuesdays and El Burrito and Applebee's and the Blue Cow. I mean, you've already got so many restaurants in there, that some are slow, even on weekends.
Right.
And I think that you need something that's going to draw the people in. I mean, look at town when the fair is in town. I mean, the fair's pretty busy for the most part.
Very
it
busy.
brings a lot of
30
people
to 40,000
from surrounding counties.
Yeah.
So you just got to have something to bring people in, and that's why I think the idea of like the event center is great or the sports complex, because you can make it so you can host, shows there, and you can host, sporting events and comedians and musicians. You can host all of that, and that'll you need something to put Big Rapids on the map.
Yep. It has to be a destination, doesn't it?
But something to get more traffic flow.
We have a theater at the high school, and it's always packed when they have it. We have basketball. We're packed every night of the week on basketball.
But that's local.
But what I'm saying is that you get a guy like you to come in, say at Big Rapids High School theater, the stage, and you could probably pack that place. You could probably pack it if it was well known enough. They pack it for the shows, for the stage shows. But, I heard you were just so fantastic on Trump. And maybe you could do some on Biden and let everybody boo you out of here. And maybe, but I think
that's yesterday's news, don't you think?
I think, well, it might be yesterday's news. But
today, by the way,
people
today
like that stuff.
Today is Sarah Palin's birthday, so I just want to bring that up. We were
Whose
talking about
birthday?
yesterday. Sarah Palin. Remember Sarah Palin from Alaska?
Yeah.
The vice presidential candidate that everybody thought was hot.
Yeah. But I agree with you. We need something, but we need more young guys like at the Elks. Everybody used to go to the Eagles. Now a bunch of the young guys have taken control of the Elks, and they are packed in there, and they do so many things, steak fries and dinners and stuff like that. But they've got good young people to make this happen.
Yeah,
and that's what we need.
That's okay, but that's local.
I agree with you there, but what I'm saying is, like, even though those places are packed, it's the same people week in and week out.
You're right.
Right? And I'm not
right.
saying that locals aren't important.
Yeah.
Locals are everything. But I'm saying you need something that's going to draw people from other towns, other counties, other states. I know people that have performed in front of, 6,000 people, and half of them came from a different state to come watch them perform. So I think I wish Big Rapids could get something, that wasn't a movie theater or something like that. And as much as movie theaters are great, for the locals, you got to think, okay, we need something for everybody that's really going to draw, people around.
Now, there's one thing we don't have.
Like a Van Andel Arena.
Yeah, there's one thing we don't have that Mount Pleasant has, and that's the casino where they're putting the money out to get those big name acts in. So,
we used to have them here at Mecosta County Fair. We had Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn, Lori Morgan, Merle Haggart. I go on.
Natalie Wood came here.
Who?
Natalie Wood.
Who's that?
Nat King Cole's daughter.
Oh, yeah?
Not
Natalie Cole.
I'm sorry.
Not Natalie Wood.
I'm sorry, Natalie
no,
Cole.
don't be sorry for your mistakes, Pete. Hell, we're old. But anyway, we need to be a destination, and I think you look at Mount Pleasant. I use them again. You look at Midland. They have them great soccer fields over in Midland. You go over there every weekend, man. And when I race
And they
down
have Dow that paid for every one of those. They had Dow.
No doubt. Well, we have people here. We have resources here, too. It's called Let's Do a Millage. Well, that stopped right there, didn't it?
No, you're
But
right.
I'll tell you what,
You're
we
right.
the people should.
Rockford has a great one too.
Yeah, and it's
sports
a
complex.
destination.
Yeah.
You know, there's people, and like I said, you go to Mount Pleasant. I know I'm just
repeating yourself.
Repeating myself, but people go out to eat, and that's what brings revenue and jobs.
Yeah.
It's food.
But if you put a restaurant in, if you put an Olive Garden, people have to go more than once every 6 months. And that's what they'll do. Well, we don't want to go, it's too expensive. And then, then it goes out of business, and you wonder why.
See, here's the deal. We already have it. We just need to use it. We have the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
The fairgrounds, you could get so many people in there throughout the year, outdoor concerts. Like, if we were to, transform the grandstands and update it and renovate it a little bit, you could use that and the track for so many different events throughout the year, not just the 1 week of fair. And, maybe we should work on that, Pat. We should work on pushing fair to bring in some people again.
Well, I think Paul Quant said that too. Paul Quant offered. We're going to make it happen.
You got to put furnaces or heaters in the grandstands.
Not in July.
He's talking about the wintertime, Pat. Winter concerts.
No, I don't think so.
Weren't you talking about the wintertime?
No, not winter. I was talking but let's use it more than just the week of fair.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, bring people in the summers and springs and early fall.
Yeah. And the other thing is, the other big resource we have is right on the campus. We have a 1,600-seat auditorium over there at Williams Auditorium, which is used for Ferris, and then that's it,
Hey, we have one at the high school
you do too,
Bob. Yeah.
And that's what, 400 or 500 or
people like where you can have a beer. Okay, you can't have that at high school. You can't have it at Ferris, but you can have it. You can have it at the fairgrounds. You can have a beer tent there. People like to have a refreshment. And I agree with you altogether, Blake, but it's going to take us young people like you, movers like you, us older people.
That's what I said.
We're just kind of,
They want the young guys to come in and take charge.
Well, it takes a vision, and then plus people to promote it. We're tired.
Well, look what they've done at the Elks. Seriously, all the young guys have done that there.
You love that Elks, don't you?
I don't go. I haven't been in there to play euchre.
God, they're going to have to
I've only been in there once this year to play euchre. And I'm the third oldest member of the Elks.
If you're going to talk about the clubs, I think we got some great clubs. I think the
Eagles.
I think the Elks. I think the AMVETs do a nice job. Moving on. What we need is a promoter, Blake, so get us one. We need somebody up here in Big Rapids to push activities for us. I wished I could just take a wand and say, here's your sports complex, here's your auditorium, and like you say, the fairgrounds has a lot.
Friday nights we used to be swamped. You know why? Banks were closed on Saturday.
Okay.
So everybody would come to town. That Big Rapids was jam full on Friday night. But then they opened the banks on Saturday. They're not that busy.
So we should close the banks?
I say on Saturday.
Okay.
Instead of
Let's
half
do
a
that,
day,
Bob.
close the banks.
Send a memo.
Yeah, sure. I'll close the stores on Sunday, too. Go back to the blue laws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we should wrap up. That way you can get your jukebox in here at the end.
I want to thank you for having me on.
God bless you.
Blake, come and I'm buying 10 tickets the next show. Let me know where and when.
When do you think, Blake, what are you working on right now, real quick? Just anything going?
Yeah, we're working on 3 different dates right now, so we'll probably start releasing those dates here, I'd say, in the next 2 weeks.
When do we expect to have you back here?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the next 2 weeks you'll probably be hearing from us.
Okay, how about back at the Eagles?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out when we're going to do that. I know that we're going to be thinking about doing some shows down in Florida during the spring break season. We're kind of tossing that idea around.
Megan going down?
But yeah, we're definitely going to be coming back to Big Rapids for sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Get some little different material, or would you use the same?
Oh, no. Each show will be different.
Wow, that's really hard to do.
Not when you're a professional.
No, not when
you're a professional. You make it like the father at the church homily different one every Sunday.
It is?
He does the same thing every show.
Could you do it in church? Have you in church? That'd be a good skit. You do a church one.
But anyway, you minister. Hey, hello, mama.
Actually, I am going to see a comedy show in a church in May.
Okay.
Henry Cho, who is one of the comedians for the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be in Grand Rapids. So
yeah.
He's Korean, but he's from Knoxville, Tennessee. So he comes out and says, "Hi, how y'all doing?"
Yeah.
So
well. Yeah, like I said, it's just been a great hour spending it with you.
Well, just like the Ed Sullivan show, I watched it. I've been there at that show.
I bet you have.
And it was packed. It was packed.
Well, tomorrow, the sports show, we got Tim Blashill on, and I think a couple of hockey players from Big Rapids. So Sheriff Miller will be back. We should have a pretty good show tomorrow.
Yeah.
I apologize for today's show, folks, if you didn't enjoy Pete and Pat here. Did you say hi to Jeannie Fribley?
I said hi to Jeannie Fribley early.
Okay, good. I didn't know, 'cause she misses you. I saw her. She was there at the comedy show the other night.
I was there Saturday, but I left at 4 o'clock. We played euchre.
Oh, you should have stayed.
I know. I went back and looked at it. Looked at Blake setting up and stuff.
Yeah.
I watched him do that.
Well, did you have any jitters, Blake?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I sure did. Especially when you got up there, Pat. I started shaking, and I was like, oh, my, what's going to happen? And then it turned out just absolutely wonderful. So,
if you don't have jitters, you got a problem. You always have jitters before you get on a show.
I made you that nervous?
No, not you.
No?
No, I'm just giving you crap. But I did have a little bit of jitters backstage. You know, I was
And that's it. You always
kind of pacing a little bit.
You sure didn't show it. Megan didn't show it either.
Well.
Both of you guys are very good.
Well, let me know when you let Pat know, and I'll be there, and I'll order tickets, and we'll get a bunch of people, or I'll get a lot of my neighbors to come out and watch you.
Well, the next time,
Sounds good.
dinner, you got to get a dinner theater, man. That'd be cool as heck. Yeah. Lot of possibilities there, right?
Say that again?
A lot of possibilities out there for
Pat
you.
will cook. Yeah, he'll do the steaks.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk again. Think of some
we'll
great
talk to you later.
promotions.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yep, thank you. God
All right,
bless
take care,
you.
Blake. Thanks.
Yep.
All
Well,
right.
Bob, that went fairly well.
Yeah, fairly.
Well, I think
time-wise.
the show went well, Pat. You might not think so, but I think it
I'd
did.
give it a D plus.
All right. Yeah.
But it's all right. We'll get some entertainment next week, folks.
I
we
won't
have,
be back on. So.
Sonny and Cher. I have Sonny and Cher next week. Join us.
Pat wants a 7-piece band in, so
Yep,
you know.
there you go. Yep.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, and then we'll play Return to Sender and get out of here.
Well, no, we'll have some other songs before because we got 8 minutes. We'll go back to the regular
Pat
program.
Pete wants to go now, so. Yeah.
And he can go in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay.
Good night.
Curries Corner.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair, Seth Winger at the Winger Insurance Agency, Gilbert's Carpets plus Color Tile, Barrington Firearms and Training Center,